10, so I hope there is no more stuttering. I did check the video while I was offline. I checked it on my phone. The stuttering was pretty bad, incomprehensible. I hope that the ones who were watching previously do join us back on the stream. I hope everything is working now. And before we do anything else, of course, I do need to play the ad again because we're all about giving everyone value here at Hardware Sugar, including our sponsor.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffer.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder. Hanapin ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred payment method. Wala pang 5 minutes, nag-CDK ka na para sa Windows mo. Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, sad and depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life.
Dati, aimless and walang purpose ang life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko.
Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkoffer.com.
Check out cdkoffer.com.
check out cdkeyoffer.com.
All right, we are back, and hopefully the connection is better. As yun nga, a lot of the basic troubleshooting for any computer problem is restarting the thing, whether that's Windows, whether that's a router, whether it's your console, I don't know, everything, whether it's your phone, everything seems to work better after a restart. So I was getting 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 for network connection, but after a restart of our router, it has popped up to 10 out of 10. Hopefully, it is better. What's up, Casey Bolios? Recommendation for a 5600 monitor recommendation for a 5600G build. Well, you won't be pumping out 2K resolution 1440p with that APU, so get a decent 1080p monitor. You can actually get pretty decent frame rates. I mean, we're not talking like 60. I mean, it's like maybe 50, 60. Those are already pretty decent. Like, so I'm even tempted to, like, you can get, depending on your budget, you can even get like a 1080p 60 hertz monitor. But just in case, positioning yourself that you may upgrade to a GPU in the future, I'd probably get like a 1080p monitor that's around 120 hertz. The Prism X Plus thing comes to mind, the one that we reviewed. Prism Plus X270 Pro. So I think that was a super feature-packed monitor. Sobrang sulit niya for the price. 5-year warranty, local warranty, so it's much easier to contact them. We do have another video on the cheapest gaming monitors that we could find from Lazada. Yun, mga 7,000 lang yun. Those were all 1080p, but those were all 160 hertz, I think, if I remember correctly. Do check out that video under the title Budget Gaming Monitors, sulit ba? So we got 3 of the cheapest ones we could find on Lazada. Um, Talagang no names, I mean, very hindi sikat yung mga brands nila. But actually 2 out of 3 work pretty well. So, and they're still working well. We're using all of them in the shop now. So if you want to go for a little, like, the cheapest is you can get any 1080p monitor basically. You'll get 60 hertz. Sometimes you'll get games that can run above 60 hertz with a 5600G, but depending, if you're playing Dota, maybe you can get um over 60 hertz. CS, maybe. I forget, like we did this before with the 3200G. I assume it would be faster with a 5600G. But like the super low end of the spectrum, 1080p 60 hertz monitor will tide you over. Medium range should be around 7,000 pesos. Yun nga, check out our video on budget monitors, the 3 cheapest budget monitors you can find in Lazada. And sort of on the upper end of that spectrum would be the Prism Plus X270 Pro. Um, I was happy that Prism Plus contacted us. So that was a sponsored video in the sense that we got to keep the monitor, and more importantly, that the brand had input on on what we had to say. I was happy that they sent it to us because, to be honest, wala nang sponsored, whatever. Maganda yung feature set niya for the price. And you can learn more about that in the video. Although I was a little, medyo makulit yung Prism Plus. Like they're super anal about getting the name right. Like even in I have little notes at the bottom, like the episode number and like little titles. I give it to myself. It's really more like of an inside joke to myself, or just an easy way to keep track of the episodes and the videos that we do. So even in that small thing at the bottom, which I don't think, literally, we get thousands of views. Literally, maybe 10 people read that. Five of that is me. So, but so I put there prisms, prism apostrophe s, meaning possessive prisms. Entry into the Philippine market was very impressive, and so they were like, "Oh, change that. It has to be prism, all caps." And then gusto namin na plus, so prism plus. And I'm like, sobrang awkward naman ng prism pluses. So may plus tapos may apostrophe s, but okay, since you sent over the monitor, I mean, maliit lang naman na bagay. Um, but yes, the level of detail that they expect from you, it can be a little over the top, I think, na hindi naman siya, it like wouldn't impact video performance or anything like that. So, I mean, we've done a lot of work with other brands. Usually, the Prism folks were a bit more OC than 95% of the brands that we've worked with. Hindi naman, yun nga, we're professional in all things, including doing the reviews and things. And we were very responsive. So if that's what you want, sige, we'll do that. But I guess my frustration stems more from, we've been doing this for a long time already. We do try to optimize any video, whether it's sponsored or not, for views and for engagement. And those kind of nitty-gritty things don't really affect how the video performs. And the video performed all right, actually. I mean, not the greatest, but it did okay on its release. Still getting some views now, so okay naman. Like I wish the brands would focus more on things that, yeah, sobrang OC nila about those things, but they didn't ask about the thumbnail and things like that. And the thumbnail is really what will drive initial video performance. So it's like it's you're focusing on the wrong things basically, which can be a little frustrating. Sa pesto, much better. Very good. Um, Dialga Roxful. If pwede going store credits pag may bibili ng items from second-hand parts. So I'm assuming like you're the owner and then you sell your second-hand parts through us and then we owe you money. Kasi the way it works is basically parang bridge lang kami between the seller and the owner of the parts. And actually, all of the parts here are second-hand. Thank you for bringing that up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All of these items are being sold by the shop, but none of them are owned by the shop because the owner send us the items and then we post them on the second-hand parts list. And so I assume you're asking, like, if we sell one of these and you're the owner, instead of sending you money, we will consider it a store credit. Yes, that's fine. We can consider it a store credit. And actually, we've had a couple of owners that have asked us to do that, and yeah, no problem with us. Yes. So basically, short answer, yes. Sa pesto. No, no, yun nga. So the title is clickbaity. I do apologize, but I am not immune to getting a couple of free views from some cheap tactics like that. So there is no Independence Day sale. And all of these components here are our secondhand parts because right after this live stream, I will be doing a video on the secondhand parts. We've never actually done a video on the available secondhand parts. We've talked a little bit about it. I mentioned it in other videos, especially on the live streams. I mention it all the time that we have a secondhand parts list service where the owner sends us the item. That's our there are only two there are only two requisites actually to have your item listed with us. One, you have to be a Hardware Sugar customer. Anything, if you've bought a service from us like cleaning, a super cheap item, anything, basta customer ka na namin, you are eligible. And number two, you do need to send the part to us because we will keep them in the shop. So those are the only two things that you need to do, the two requirements. We will keep the item in the shop. We will list them on the second-hand parts list, the link of which is in all of our videos, all of our live streams. Lahat ng content namin basically here on YouTube, nandun yung second-hand parts list namin sa baba. We should come up with a better name for it. And we do not get any cut at all from that service. If this 2060 is around 18,000 pesos, if I remember correctly, yung buong 18,000 pesos na yan, kung mabenta to, mapupunta sa owner. So no cut, no commission. Actually, it's a lot of work kasi we need to keep track of what item belongs to which owner. We handle all of the conversations of potential buyers. We answer all of their inquiries. So it's a lot of work for the shop. We don't get anything out of it. But we're a big believer in secondhand parts. Yun nga, babanggitin ko sa video mamaya na yung CPU and GPU ko in my own personal computer, the two most important parts of my computer, are both secondhand. If you can find good secondhand parts, they're great value. Their performance, yun nga, for what you're paying for, is really great. Pero yun yung tanong, saan ka makakahanap ng legit na parts na ang dami kasing hassle associated with buying secondhand parts. And so our list is our solution to that. Yun nga, it doesn't benefit the shop directly, but we really feel that less e-waste benefits everybody. Getting value for money because we've talked about in our other videos na lalabas ng next gen yung companies, but don't get sucked into the hype. The previous gens are still running quite well, even for present games, even for future games. You get a 3080, that's still pretty good, 3070, 3060, but the 3060 na 12 gigabytes, don't get the 8 gigabyte version that's cheaper. So, yun nga, don't the 6000 series of AMD, super good value for money. Actually, if you can buy that like a 7600, 750 XT now at their prices, if you can still find, sobrang gandang value for money nun, and you're not really looking for DLSS performance or yung upscaling performance niya. Yeah, so a lot of benefits to secondhand parts, not to the shop, but to consumers in general, and that's why we keep a secondhand parts list. Yeah, so I'll be doing a video on this later, so we might as well go through it now. Sup, Ken, ikaw ba yan? Yes. I think this is Ken from now relocated to Canada. Sup, Ken? I think, sorry. If you're not Ken, hello. It's just difficult to read the Japanese. But I think this is Ken, formerly of Hardware Sugar. And now angling for a job with with LTT. I'm sure after they see your work with Hardware Sugar, they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll take you on. Yeah, yeah. Alrighty then. Yeah, no problem. Because if you think about it, it's the same, right? Like we owe you money. Um, Instead of sending you the money, then it becomes store credit. It's basically the same things. Yeah, so no worries. No worries there. That's fine with us. Sup, Samuel? Sup, Luigi? Happy Independence Day. No ETA. We haven't, like, our suppliers haven't told us. There's also no price update. But when we know, you'll know. Um Yeah, we don't. So actually, the answer of Casey Bolios is exactly correct. We don't have. Um, well, okay, this is interesting. Like, if you get an i7, it's kind of really overpowered for office work. So we could quote like based on brand new, but for office work, I agree with Casey Bolios. Like you might want to consider our. I think it's an i5 that we have. It's like 18,000 pesos all in na. Super great for office work. And it's even good for gaming. We did a trilogy of videos why this is our recommendation for a budget gaming rig, a second-hand office computer that we slapped a GPU into. And yun, super good value for money. Although I think the monitor is 22 or 20 inches or something. Sup, Ken? May second hand nga na Q58. Galing ba yan sa'yo? I was wondering kung saan galing yung Q58 na yan. What time? I'm trying to think what time is it in Canada? 12 hours or so. Medyo gabi na. Sunday night. Sunday night. If I'm doing the math correctly. um, it depends on the model, HKL. So it is possible if there are different models. You're talking about like the color range that they're displaying is different. If they are different models, yes, it's completely possible. Like you can have two ASUS monitors that are both IPS, but the color range is different. So yes, yep, that's possible. If they're the same model of monitor, then no, they should be displaying the same thing because they're supposed to be inherently the same. The link to the second-hand parts is in the video description below. May factor ba ang DisplayPort kung nag-output pa ng true 144 Hz sa monitor? Eh, so we did a video on this also. The long story is you should watch that video. But yes, the kind of cable that you're using will affect the frame rate of your monitor. So you have to assume that one, your frame rate can do those monitors that you're asking it to do. So if you're looking at 144 hertz, check first that yes, your monitor is rated for that. Then second, check that your PC can output that. So assuming that yes, your monitor can display that, and two, that your PC can output that, your next step is checking the ports on your monitor. Usually, yung display port, display DP2 na ata yan for a lot of the graphics cards and things like that. Actually, I don't keep track of like what cables and what versions of the ports are for outputting the maximum FPS possible. My go-to recommendation is just to use DP, just use DisplayPort. Between HDMI and DisplayPort, I don't want to think about it anymore. So my gaming monitor is always plugged into my DisplayPort on my GPU and to the monitor para di ko na kailangan pag-isipan. Uh, that is literally, what is that annoying jingle on the radio? Uh, pinag-iisipan pa ba yan? Hindi na. Usually nowadays, kung naka-display port ka, you'll get the maximum possible refresh rate for your monitor. Although, yun nga, to go back to your question, it is technically possible that you're getting an older version of DP and an older cable. Um, so yes, it is possible that the cable itself, most likely not the port, but the cable itself might be affecting the frames that are being pushed to your monitor, so you're not getting the maximum possible. Actually, may bagong shipper tayo, Ken, na kaya daw nung international, pero di pa namin nasubukan. Although medyo mahal siya kahit dito sa atin. Like, so this new shipper, we sent like a full rig and stuff. The full rig and then the other boxes, we sent it over. And I think we sent it over to not even, I think, okay, fine, it was to Mindanao. Medyo mahal siya. So, kung ipadala namin yung Q58 dyan sa'yo sa Canada, baka mas mahal pa. Baka mas mahal pa kaysa sa actual case. So that might not be an option. Well, yes, then. I mean, if they are two different models, you check the manufacturer's website what the color range is supposed to be. Um, the sGRB, spectrum, and things like that. And if they are different, then that explains why you are seeing sort of a different tint on the monitors, or different color temperature on the monitors and things like that. If they're supposed to be the same, maybe you should also check out the color profile that you're using in Windows for the different monitors. All right, so let us get on with the show. Actually, so I don't really have a set script for Live from the Shop. We usually just do it off the cuff. So now we're gonna go handheld, and it's gonna be super shaky. Love DroidCam for this. First off, thanks so much for Deepcool for sending us the LS720 SE, which is the budget line of the L series. So we have the LS SE first tier, LS second tier, and then the LT third tier. It does look quite nice actually. We're running it now on the test bench. That's what we're using for our test bench setup, and this is currently what is running our streaming setup. So this is a 1650, if I remember correctly. Low profile ba to, Ross? If you're watching. All right, so this is the time where I just talk about the things we have in the shop. And to be honest, we've been super busy. I have no godly clue anymore. What the heck is going on in the shop anymore? Oh, this is an ODD, old school. I have no. Let me just check it off camera. Okay, so this is actually for pickup. We did cleaning and cable management. That's why the thing. Well, it's hard to see on camera really, but trust me that the cleaning and cable management was very well done. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, sorry. So these are all for pickup. That's why we have them here by the door. So this was a GPU cleaning ready for pickup. Very nice. RX 6800, still very capable gaming platform now. The what? Retro ODD, optical disk drive. Yeah, hard to see through the TG side panel, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Alcatraz. Not familiar with this particular case. Yep. All right. And then moving on to other stuff we have here. We have a dark flash case here on the left. This is a I love I love how retro this thermal take is. I mean, this is parang so this is like these two computers represent like two generations of how to build cases. So this one is kind of like modern with a mesh. So yung meta ngayon, yung airflow. This one is also about airflow. This one is also about meta. I'm sorry. This one is also about airflow. So you got a whole bunch of perforations here in front. Not as fine as this mesh. So a lot more holy here. The holes here are not as um, fine, but you do have this kind of very bulky fortress-like appearance. So you have the fins here on the side. You also have space for ODD. The the front panel is very aggressive. Like, di naman tong dark flash. It's just very subtle, very laid back. Ito like may raised angle pa siya and everything. Oh, I love the blue. Actually, I do miss these old cases. I love the blue. Oh, may ano pa? May built-in fan control. High, low, fan LED. May docking port pa siya. Nice, nice. Again, I don't know who this belongs to, but this is great. Like if you have a swappable hard drive and things like that, you just plop it on in there. Thermal take case. I'm not familiar with the actual model. This dark flash is in for diagnostics because it shuts down all the time or unexpectedly, and also for cleaning cable management. Quite dirty inside, so we haven't gotten around to this one yet. This very pleasing thermal take case is also in for diagnostics. Oh, may ano pa siya dito. What's this latch for? I don't know. Carrying thing? Is there another latch on the side? Wala naman. Is it just for like a handle? But that's if it's a handle, it's not really useful because there's nothing on the other side. Is it just something to help you? Is this just something to help you remove the TG side panel? I'm not sure actually if this is TG. Might be acrylic. Sounds a little acrylic based on the thumping sound. Yeah, I do. No, sorry. This is an add-on, I think. Is this an add-on? No, but then like for it to be an add-on, di siguro kasi it's very difficult to design an add-on to a case. I mean, you just can't like plop it on there to the top of the case. Um, like this is like embedded into it, and it's not a sticker. And like if it's thermal take, ito yung logo ni thermal take eh. So ano to? I do not know. I can't believe it's an add-on. because it's melded so perfectly into the case. All right. I'm sure somebody who's watching this will let us know in the comments what the heck this is. This is our older another test bench we have. Um, oh, I think this is a DDR3 board because I think these were my RAM for my old build. Oh no, yeah, this was my this was my old motherboard and my old this is my old rig. Oh, what's up, old rig? I had to send it to the shop one time kasi may nagsabi na um he was gonna send in a DDR3 build for diagnostics, and we were like, okay, we still have something like that, meaning something like that, meaning my computer. So this is actually a new build we're doing, AK620. This is a 4070 GPU, very clean. This is more for production. To be honest, I want to send this not to the customer, but we're still waiting for the hard drives, and that's one thing you don't. It's from the consumer point of view, it's not very obvious. It is kind of obvious, but not as annoying. But now that we're a shop and we have access to a lot of suppliers, kahit ako nagugulat ako na it's so hard to get components, like basic things like basic components like GPU or like memory that that it's kind of common, so you think it's easy to get, but the volume of stuff kasi that comes in here that comes in to our shores isn't just a lot. So um yeah, it's frustrating because we're waiting on certain stuff for the customer. All right, so these are the second hand parts. I'll be doing a video on them, which should come out around next week or so. But for all of the second hand parts, you can find them. Just scroll down from this video. It's their second hand parts list. So we have memory. Oh, this is actually a pretty good. There's 2x16. I can't keep up anymore. We have a bunch of stuff, and thank you to our staff who arranged this so nicely for me. So we actually have modern GPUs: 3060 Ti, 2060, 3050. I think this is 3060 also. Oh, 3070, 3070. Brand new AIO. This is going for 7,000 pesos lang. If you research it on, I made notes about this, but parang it's like $200 new on Amazon. So that's over 10,000 pesos. But this is brand new. It's sealed. You can see the plastic. But the owner is only selling it for 7,000. So again, you can get a lot of good deals for for that. You buying secondhand. Glorious mouse. Oh, nice color. Very light. We do have a review of the Holy, the Model Zero ata. And I actually like the Oh, this is Model Zero also, but yung parang may mesh and things. Although I always wonder why they bore holes there so what your hand doesn't get sweaty. I mean, my hand doesn't get that sweaty even when you're pro gaming. Um, oh, sorry. There's the mouse. I did like the Glorious one that I got to try out before. Although the one I tried was for smaller hands. I do have a claw, so I think this would be a good size for me actually. Thinking actually of updating my peripherals because I've had a Logitech G2, I think, or whatever, wireless for the longest time. I had the switches changed, but it's getting a little long in the tooth, especially yung part na to. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. Although I personally I tend to run my stuff into the ground. Yung part niya dito, parang it has become rough or it's protruding. So when it slides on the mouse pad, it's scraping the mouse pad. Hindi na smooth yung paggalaw niya, which is, not good for the mouse pad. It's irritating when you want it to just move and things like that. So I'm thinking of getting a new mouse. Maybe Steel Series. Nice looking board. Um, B550. Oh, okay. It's a B550 Aorus Pro AX. We also have a Z690 Plus Wi-Fi. I did not know that. No, this is actually a good deal. We do a lot of Intel builds with Z690, so this one is actually a pretty good build. And also this one, we do a lot of B550 builds. Some perifs. Oh, and actually, this is an interesting one. Like back in the day, like way back in the day. You needed a sound card to get sound, but everything basically it got integrated into the motherboard. 98% of gamers don't even think about that. Only the 2% that really care about, like, oh my god, I need like audio fidelity. So it's more like surprise. It's more like for audiophiles that want like dedicated sound cards. I have not used a dedicated sound card in a very long time on my own rigs. This one is for diagnostics, I think, if I remember correctly. This is all the O11D Mini is also part of our second hand parts list. So is the P400A. This is a really good deal. This is actually being sold by the shop because the front panel is just slightly elevated, like just sobrang elevated. We didn't want, and to be honest, it's not even that noticeable. Oh, here, wait, sorry, we didn't. Um, oh, here is the Lian Li. Ito ba yung Q11? I guess, yeah, this is the Q11. Kind of a rare case. I'm gonna have to do B-roll on this guy later. Kind of hidden now. Yeah, our staff has been complaining na our second hand parts list is actually, yeah, we need to come up with a good name. If anybody has any suggestions for what we should call the second hand parts list, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Um, Hardware sugar pre-chewed goodies, pre-chewed candy. That might not be the best selling point. This one is for diagnostics. So that's the build we talked about earlier. Um, this one is not part of the second hand parts list. I just do want to say thank you to ASUS. We're doing a video on the best equipment for content creation on the go. So let's say you're on the road or things like that, and you need to edit a video. Like, so you have the iPad with the M1 chip, M2 now if you have the latest, and then we also tried like a regular kind of top tier office laptop. And then I reached out to ASUS asking them, we're doing this video. Can you send us like a laptop that is specifically designed for content creation? And this was I haven't even researched like if this is their top of the line. I think not, it's not even their latest gen. I think if this was the previous gen, it's rocking a 3060. Pero grabe, sobrang it was even smoother editing on this than on my desktop. So ridiculous. So thank you to ASUS for letting us use that. It'll come out in a video. This is all for build. Well, not those two. Those are extra. This one actually, this one is a custom order. It's a Galax O3 Revolution 03. And you'll notice the AP cargo because so a customer asked us to custom order this. We don't usually carry this on stock. We said yes. We reached out to the supplier. The supplier was like, meron kami sir, pero nasa Davao. I'm like, okay, send it over from Davao, and that is why it has an AP cargo sticker on it. So this came all the way from Davao. The exterior is a little bit beat up, but I'm sure the case is fine. We've actually done this before with the same supplier, um, where it came it came from Davao. And again, like yeah, a lot of the logistics the customer is not exposed to, except when crazy shops like Hardware Sugar do these kind of behind the scenes videos. This one is also a custom order. This one is also a custom order. This one we're selling now. Uh, yes, we are selling now. A bit behind the scenes of this, why we're using FSP 750 80 plus gold, so the Hydro G Pro. FSP, great brand. One of the few that still makes their own PSUs. We have, although our go-to 750 watt 80 plus gold was the Seasonic GX 750 series for the longest time. But our supplier, usually I liked it because it's reliable. It's Seasonic. 750 watts is usually the what enthusiasts are looking for. 80 plus gold, same, fully modular. So the Seasonic GX 750 was a go-to kasi well priced, good quality, and easy to get. Yun nga, going back to the logistics of stocking a shop. But surprisingly, like the past 2 weeks, they've been sold out. So we were like, okay, well, anyway, the FSP is slightly cheaper, also very good quality, and available. So we have switched to this for our go-to 750-watt PSU. Um, done several reviews of FSP for the channel, and my personal PSU that I'm using now is an FSP. So when we recommend it, we can say again from experience that yes, this is pretty darn good. Um, Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 360 ARGB, excellent cooler, excellent performance at an excellent price. This is not actually something. I'm not sure where we got the Zigmatic. I'm not sure if this is a second-hand case. I think it is. That this is also a second-hand case that we have for sale. Um, this one is custom order. So it is FSP, it is Hydro G Pro, but it's for PCIe 5, so yung ATX3 for the GPUs. Although a lot of the lower end, and when I say lower end, I'm saying like not 4090, 4080. So we're like the 4070s and stuff are actually pretty um don't require ATX3 for their power connection. This is not for sale, but this is a testament to what the guys at the shop are actually doing when I think they are working. No, actually, the guys at the shop work very hard, and if they want to do some downtime, I encourage it. Although the number of controllers in the shop gives me pause now. So we also have one here, different controller. To be honest, I think I saw another one over there, but I'm not picky. They do great work, and they deserve a little R&R, which is also why I didn't ask for volunteers for today. Although I usually try to be open for during the holidays. Mentioned this before already, but we're gonna do a review on this. Cougar sent 2 cases and the Forza 85 single tower cooler. We've done a review on this guy before. That box is empty. Oh, I saw this in the shop and I was like, "What is this?" It's an ROG motherboard. I don't know where this came from. So it does. So it says ASUS. It looks like the. It looks like. Ah, yeah, here. So it says, yeah, there's ROG main board. Um, like what the heck is this, guys? I have no idea what this is doing in the shop. Is it one of those custom boards that come? I mean, one of those small form factor CP computers that they come customized already, so the parts are smaller and it's hard to work in them and things like that. This one, I've seen this guy before. GPU ata to. Like a really small one, low profile. Yeah, so okay, and one of our Asurix cards, the RX 580, very decent performance for the price. Yeah, this ROG Mobile, I have no idea. Is this like part of a laptop? Maybe not. My bet is part of one of those custom. Oh, that could be a laptop, like this kind of cooling solution type. I don't know. I'd have to ask. That's what I like about coming into the shop. You never know what you're going to find. Oh, more Asurix cards. Yes, more another Asurix card. Although this does bring up the sorry state of the shop. I when we opened up a computer shop, one of my things was that ayoko messy. Like I want everything clean. So you have your shelves and then you have your workstations and things like that. And when we first moved here, because it was a bigger space than our previous space in Giho, we were able to kind of keep it clean. But now with all of the work going on and things for pickup and things like that, um, it has become quite crowded again. And also like the equipment that we used to shoot, because this is like a shop slash workbench slash studio slash de facto LAN cafe on the off hours. So ang dami nangyayari. So it has become quite messy. This is not ideal for me. So I'm already dreaming like if we can have if we can have a separate room. So same location but separate room, and that would be where you store where the display of all of the items for sale are. And then we have a back room where we can do cleaning and stuff. Although it's hard to do cleaning here. We have to do it in the closet because ang daming you know people who send us stuff for cleaning, yung iba talaga sobrang alikabok. It's really super dusty and things like that. So we can't we don't want all of that dirt and the dust flying around in the shop. So we have to do it inside the closet where it's very enclosed. But yeah, it's not this isn't like really an optimal place to do PC cleaning. Sana it would be like outside where we can just dunk it in water. Dunk it in water to make sure it's like super super dry. No, I don't think we would do that um, for a customer build anyway. But I would do that for my own rig. I like that, the take me home list. All right, wait. What's up, Martin? Let me just run the ad again and I'll see you after the jump.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffer.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder. Hanapin ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred payment method. Wala pang 5 minutes, nag-CDK ka na para sa Windows mo. Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, sad and depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life.
Dati, aimless and walang purpose ang life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko.
Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkeyoffer.com.
Check out cdkeyoffer.com.
Check out cdkeyoffer.com. I'm not sure if the audio cut out also on your end, but like in the middle of the ad, the audio cut out. And then I was surprised because when I play the ad, usually I just turn my brain off because my mic is muted and I don't need to do anything. But then when suddenly the audio cut out, I can hear the audio. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And the ad's not done yet. So I had to run back, but then the ad started again. Anyway, it's so I mean, it's like streaming has become so commonplace nowadays, but actually, yeah, from a technical perspective, a lot of things can still go wrong. Yung internet connection, restarting the router. Last time I tried to do pwede magtanong from the shop, nakalimutan ko ilipat yung audio to my Elgato Wave 1, the microphone right in front of my face. So Rocky the programmer had to tell me pa na di maganda yung audio. So ang daming mga little things that we have to remember. I like these suggestions. The Take Me Home list, Pre-Loved, Second Goods, Tier A. Maybe Tier A should be the brand new ones. Stop, Moniker. All right. So I do need to shoot the secondhand parts video. After this, I'm already running behind. So my thing was 9:30 to 10:30 live from the shop. 10:30 to 11:30 would be the secondhand parts list video. It's already 11 o'clock now, so running late, but not unusual. But I did want to, before I go, I did want to highlight one last thing. I love that. Oh well, the TUF K3 still very impressive. Oh, we are using these are not these ninja keys are from Cable Mod. Thank you, Cable Mod. They do look quite good. And as we mentioned in the review, and I love the texture. Sometimes I'm just wait, sorry, you can't see me on the other camera. Sometimes I just like grazing these things just for like the tactile roughness on your fingertips. So Tough K3, but some of the keys from Cable Mod. But I did want to highlight how much cleaner a monitor arm. So the current monitor, you're seeing the back of the Asus monitor, and here's the front. You'll notice how clean it is because of the monitor arm there. So it's not, we have the desk clean for other things. We can put stuff there. The monitor is taking up airspace, not ground space. So made possible by the monitor clamp or monitor arm from North Bayou. I have been using North Bayou a lot in my own place for the same, for the monitor clamp. Very useful, very reliable. The spring mechanisms work even after all these years and things like that. Russ over here has done the same thing for his monitor in vertical mode. So again, very good option if you want to keep your space free for other things. Monitor arms. I can't recommend these guys enough. This brand, excellent. North Bayou. So Russ stays here. He's the one who does the chat from Wednesdays to Sundays. And that is why I use my vertical monitor setup for my chat. Although not the Facebook chat, the Slack chat where I talk to all of the staff. I actually don't know what he uses it for, kung sa FB ba or something. But yeah, I can't, like for productivity, a two monitor setup like this, excellent. Um, if you want to go a little crazy like me, I currently have four monitors, also excellent. Also can't get enough of it. And then I do have one on the monitor on the left uses a North Bayou, and I've been using it for years. So there are a lot of things now for computers that aren't focused on the build themselves, but that can really help you out in terms of productivity. Monitor arms for your monitors, whether that's the one on top of each other type, so that's like a central pole, and then you have one on top of another, or whether it's like monitor light, so these kind of clamps that clamp onto your monitor. I found it. They seem like silly things, but they're actually super helpful for your productivity. Um, what are the other little things that I like, accessories that I've used? Cable ties, although that's more of my brother's department. You can see here our staff are super OC about cable management, even if it's not for customers. Like this is just their own personal workstation, but they're super OC about it. Um, I myself am not super terribly bothered by messy cables, to be honest. I don't knock myself out to fix the cable management of my own builds, but a lot of people are very interested in that, and we do have a service for that. I don't know if I've announced it, like that we're having a price reduction for a lot of people who need cleaning or cable management. Um, Parang hindi pa nga ata. I should announce it. But yun, so that has been live from the shop this Philippine Independence Day. Um, yeah, okay, gotta shoot the videos now for these guys, which should be hopefully out next week. We do have content that dropped yesterday. I'm playing around with AI games or games generated by AI. The video's not doing that great, to be honest. Although I'm a bit sad about that because I had a lot of fun monkeying around with the AI games, trying to break the AI in a sense na you throw them curveballs na okay, like I so it's basically like a text adventure game, like a chat game. There's a scenario and then you play along. Like you tell the computer, I am going to break into this room. I'm going to bring out a gun. I'm going to hack this computer. So I had a lot of fun trying to figure out like if the AI could figure out what I was trying to do. And sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. So I did two safer work games, and then because because language and AI lend themselves to that kind of imaginative scenarios. I also did two not safe for work games. And in the same spirit that I'm just kind of trying to break them a little bit. So I am a little sad that not a lot of people have watched it because I did have a cheeky kind of fun. I mean, it's not like super bustos or anything. But I did have cheeky fun trying to monkey around with the AI. So that is up on the channel now. I'm probably gonna change the thumbnail of that for tomorrow for the upcoming week, we have the RX 560 XT coming out Wednesday, hopefully, or maybe even tomorrow, but I still need to ask Ren. And then on Friday, we have top 10 tips, building tips for any level. So whether you're a rookie, whether you're nagsisimula ka pa lang sa PC building, medyo medium level or advanced level. So these are 10 tips that I think can help anybody out regardless of your experience level for PC building. Um, Probably throw in a game stream or two para lang ready na tayo for game streams. I mean, ready in the sense na tapos na tayo, tapos na yung deliverables to CD Key for this month. Because we owe them 4 live streams. We owe them 4 gaming streams. I've already done 2. We owe them 4 live streams. I've already done 2. So we are hitting the deliverables quite nicely so far for this month. So any other questions? Not bad, not bad. Um, yeah. I think like I I am loath to I am loath to say so. Represent Rafael James. I don't want to say so, but I think the May sale did help because sales did pick up and then like the volume suddenly just cascaded. I don't like doing sales in general because really the margins were so low that if you combine the other inputs that we need to take into consideration, the taxes, the rent that we pay, the employment, we need to pay our staff. So I think lugi pa nga kami when we have it at that such a low markup. So I don't like to do sales that often. The results are sometimes questionable, I think, but and because we don't hype it up also, like we announce it once or twice and then we don't talk about it anymore. But yeah, at least in terms of business picking up and volume, definitely it picked up around mid-May up to now. But correlation does not equal causation. Did it pick up because of the sale? That's a bit harder to figure out. But even I might admit that yes, maybe it did. But again, yun nga, I'm loath to admit it. Okay lang, Rocky the Programmer. It'll just be static shots. So I'll be here, then I'll do B-roll for Ren. And Ren likes static B-roll anyway. I mean, she likes to digitally pan, um, digitally use the editor to pan things. I actually don't like that. I like to physically moving the camera. But anyway, she'll be also be the one editing this video. So siya na bahala. um, Shooting. Yeah. So thank you for the offer, but I'm good. It's just gonna be like a static shot here. Then I'll be talking about it. Then we'll just pack the B-roll and things like that. Or maybe I'll walk around with the camera and like waving it on the stick or something. But perfectly doable. So enjoy the long weekend, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check out our AI video yesterday. Check out the videos coming up this week. And yeah, see you when I see you. See you guys. Stay safe.